We are simplify by distributing. Okay, so when we look at this, notice there's no equal sign, so we have an expression here. So I always like to draw arrows on where we have our distribution, so that distributes. But this one, you can't. You have to multiply it out first. Our order of operations says parentheses would have to come first. Well, there's nothing to simplify in the parentheses. Then exponents, so we have to do that exponent first. Then we can multiply. So we have to square this. So x plus 1 times x plus 1. And each part multiplies to everything else, each term. So the 1 is going to multiply to the first and to the second. The x is going to multiply to the first and to the second. If you feel better, you can also do a generic rectangle. That would be an x plus 1 and an x plus 1. Either way, you're going to get x squared plus 2x plus 1. So you should have done this in the past, and I can go over it if need to be. Just let me know during class, and I can go over it, but that's how we multiply our binomials. So I would rewrite this as 3 times, then I write this out because that's instead of x plus 1, x squared plus 2x plus 1, and then plus, let's distribute that 5x plus 5. And we still have that minus 4 at the end. And it doesn't set with me, like leaving this open and kind of leaving you hanging if you struggle with this. So I'll go ahead and just do the generic rectangle here. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. X times 1 is x. 1 times 1 is 1. We usually add these two together. So that's x squared plus 2x plus 1. All right, so that's where that came from. All right, now, once again, I always use arrows to distribute. It just really helps you to not forget or lose sight of anything. These little extra things are not made to help make your hand hurt. It helps you to make sure you don't forget something or lose something. It's common for people to forget or lose something here. So that's 3x squared plus 6x plus 3. It got distributed here. We still have a plus 5x. And then we'll go ahead and combine these. Those are like terms, so that's a plus 1. Then we usually want to group like terms together, so that's 3x squared and in descending order. So then there's the x's. We got a plus 6x plus 5x, and then the numbers plus 3 plus 1. A lot of people do this in their heads or kind of do this at this step, combine those. If you're still struggling with it and making mistakes, it's really important to group them together. Then you're less likely to make a mistake that way. 3x squared plus 11x plus 4 is our final answer. Remember, these are unlike terms, so they cannot be combined anymore. 3x squared plus 11x plus 4. Got it. See if they did anything different. They squared the binomial first, correct? So what I did is I just went ahead and I started distributing. So for me, every time you have that, it's kind of like a separator. It's a separator. Those are terms, so I can kind of do these in separate. So that's why I go ahead and I went ahead and did this one and this one separately. So they're going ahead and wait until the multiply all the way at the end to distribute, which is fine. See if the next one's any different. And everything's done exactly the same way. You just have a distribution here. So we're distributing that 3 right there and distributing the 3 right there. And then you'd have to square this. So make sure you remember this turns into x plus 1 times x plus 1. And there's a couple different techniques that you can use to do that.